Voices to hear.
Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Voices to Hear. We are Lea, Arthur and Nelli, and today we're talking about our hobbies and passions and how they bring people together.
Let's make it a little riddle for all listeners. If you had to describe your hobby in 3 words, what would they be?
For me it's community, fun and reliable.
For me it's happiness.
For me, it will be competition, fun and pain.
Whether it's unicycling, singing in a choir, playing instruments, drawing or playing esports, our interests often shape our friendships, our sense of belonging and even who we are. So tell us, what's your favorite hobby or passion and how did you get into it?
So esport is one of my big interests and I discovered it thanks to Kayane, professional player who hosts a show on TV channel called Game One to talk about esports, and I absolutely loved it. And you, Lea?
My passion is unicycling. For everyone that does not exactly know what I'm talking about right now, imagine a normal bicycle and then take away one wheel. Tada, you will have a unicycle. I started do unicycling when I entered primary school and I did it until I came to Macedonia, so in total for around 12 years. And I started to do it because almost all girls, especially in my village, did it. So I signed up as well and just never stopped. We met once a week and trained for ourselves, but also participated in shows and even went on some training courses and at some point even became trainers for the younger children.
My passion has always been music, whether singing or playing an instrument. So becoming part in a choir just came naturally for me. Some friends also wanted to join our school choir, so we tried it out together and I got stuck on it for the last 5 years, even though friendship became more important at some point than the actual singing.
But friendship sounds very nice as well. Nelli, what's a funny or unforgettable moment you've had while doing your hobby?
We always had choir camp every year where we trained a lot, but also had a ton of fun in the evening after training. But besides that, I think the most unforgettable moments I had in the choir was especially when we had concerts with local orchestra, because it felt always so epic being on stage and having like this whole orchestra behind you while you were singing by yourself. But like in general, the first concerts I did on those huge stages, we felt all so cool. So I think that those are the most unforgettable moments for me.
As a competitor, I would say that it's the moment where I beat a guy called Pavel, and I remember it, and it's quite unforgettable because that one guy became world champion a few months later. It could have been me, but at the same time he was way better than me. And as a spectator, the first time I watched the Evo, which is the biggest fighting game competition, like there were thousands of people gathering and cheering. Players were like 3 meters away from the crowd. That was so impressive.
For me, I think it was when I was maybe 10 years old and we went to a carnival and did a show there. And the stage was very high. It was around like 2 meters from the ground and people were sitting directly under the stage on benches. And at some point I just heard some like not screams, but people being shocked. And I looked and I see that the unicycle of one of our team members fell from the stage on the table where the people were sitting. So you can imagine the looks from the people sitting on that exact table, but in the end, nothing happened. Everyone was fine.
And Lea, do your hobbies help you to meet new people or make friends?
Yes, definitely, 100%. I've done unicycling since 12 years, as I said before, and it was mostly with the same people. Of course, some people came and went, but the core always stayed the same. So I met some really, really nice people and built very beautiful friendships, also with people from different ages and everything. So yeah, I definitely made new friends there.
For me, it's similar like for you, Lea. In the choir, there are always people coming and going, checking it out, but then leaving again. But at some point, you find your people in the choir, and then that's your core and you build a deep relationship with them often. But it's not like you meet new people, I don't know, every week or every month even. Yeah, I think because of, for example, the weekly meetings and our choir camp, we build really strong friendships.
I met plenty of people, not in real life, because a huge part of esport is actually online. So, but I met plenty of people. The age gap made it a bit weird because I was 14, 15 and they were adults. It was still nice, even though sometimes it was a bit weird.
Friendships and relationships bring me to the next question. What's the coolest thing about being part of our group or community around your passion?
The first thing that comes to my mind is as a spectator, because I haven't been a player for quite a lot of time now, but I truly feel pride when I see the other supporters of my team, which is my favorite team is Kamen Corp, because they can truly bring that kind of energy, community in the stadium. Like, we are very French based, but in every major event where Kamen Corp is represented, there are supporters that we are called the Ultra, like hooligans, but we are not violent. And even when we are 20, we make more noise than crowd, and that's always super impressive. And I'm so proud of my club when I see that kind of thing. And you, Lea?
Yeah, I think for me, it's not in such a huge wide group of people. I mean, it's more a few people, we train together and everything. But in general, for me, it's also very nice to meet people from different backgrounds. And you have, I think, very much more diverse friend group than you have if you just, I don't know, go to school and see the same people every day. Yeah, for me, it's also very nice that we did a lot of things together during the trainings, but also outside of the trainings. And also when we were training for shows, for example, and we were struggling, and in the end it worked, and we had a great show, and I think through that our relationship always grew a little bit stronger, and we became closer friends kind of, and you also create a lot of memories together.
I think for me, the coolest part about being part of such a community is that there's always somebody you can talk to or ask for help, but also just to have some fun. And when I came to Macedonia, I realized how strong a bond can actually form, because when I came here, like, people were actually like still interested in what I'm doing and how it's going, and like we still had like a connection, even though I wasn't going to the weekly trainings anymore or anything. So I think best part about such a community is that the bond, it never has to break if you don't want it to break and you want to keep in contact with the others. And over time, when you stay like really long in our choir, you also become responsible for the more like younger kids. So I think also kind of responsibility.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Now we already arrived at the last question. What would you say to someone who wants to start something new but feels shy or scared?
A bit basic, but just do it and don't think too much about it. Because like sometimes our brain is just our biggest enemy. Like, for example, when I came here, I didn't think about it too much, because otherwise I think I wouldn't have stepped into that plane. Yeah, just see it as the perfect opportunity to find that hidden talent that makes you a superstar, I guess.
And I think still also we all get it, that it's weird and also a little bit scary to start something new in the beginning, and you think, oh, maybe it will be awkward, but just try and maybe you will find your great passion, as Nelli said.
I think that was a good ending from you, Lea. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Voices to Hear. We hope our conversation inspired you to explore your own passions or reconnect with an old one.
And remember, hobbies aren't just things we do. They are ways we grow and build communities that make life richer.
Don't forget to follow us for more stories, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Voices to Hear.